It is said extraordinary circumstances call for extraordinary decisions and efforts. I have been following the issue of drug supply to our hospitals and all health facilities. And I must say that I think we need to be told the truth about the procurement of drugs. What we have been treated to as Zambians is what I can call comedy of error. I mean, when you look at the statements coming from the chief government spokesperson, the ministry, and State House are all uncoordinated. We were told by Honorable Chishimba, Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Chief Government Spokesperson, that government had funded hospitals enough for them to procure drugs. Meaning, therefore, that the policy has shifted or the policy has changed. Because the policy that I know and that we left is that government procures drugs through ZAMSA, and ZAMSA distributes these drugs to hospitals. But for the minister to say that we have funded hospitals enough money for them to procure drugs implies that the policy has changed. But nobody has ever told us that the policy has changed. And if the policy has changed to that direction, I can outrightly say that it is the beginning of failure to run health institutions in as far as drugs are concerned. Buying of drugs is one of the biggest expenditure that this government undertakes. And I don't think individual hospitals will be able to manage to procure drugs. 4 days later, after the Minister of Information issued the statement, we saw the President going to ZAMSA, I beg your pardon, to visit ZAMSA and issued a statement and directives that the shortage of drugs must come to an end. We don't need the President, for heaven's sake, to go to ZAMSA. The President can give instructions right from State House. For me, the President going to ZAMSA to put up an appearance is cheap politicking, which we don't want. Zambians rejected cheap politicking in the last general elections. And I don't think we should be treated to another cheap kind of politicking. You see, the issue of shortage of drugs is very serious. And the shortage that we have experienced now is, unprecedented. It is unprecedented that 6 months of a new government in office, no drugs have been procured for the hospitals. And there is a critical shortage of drugs, including Panadol, in almost all health facilities across Zambia. And to start playing games, you take ZNBC to go and take pictures of the shelves at ZAMSA will not bring the medicines to the hospitals. Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Masebo, also issued a statement to the fact that they have procured drugs and that the shortages will now be a thing of the past. One of the reasons Zambian people voted for UPND was that they were going to end the shortages of drugs. Alas, the past 7 months has been a disaster, and we should accept failure. He who knows that he knows not is a fool for 5 minutes. But he who does not know that he knows not and knows not that he knows not is a fool forever. If you cannot notice your own mistakes, if you cannot see your own mistakes, it simply means that you will not change for the better. But when you accept, countrymen and women, we are sorry for this shortage. The reason why there was shortage is ABC. the people will take you serious. But to try and create an impression that all is well by going to parade cameras at Zamsa will not help anybody. I want to urge the new government. We don't want you to fail. We are asking you to be serious over this issue of procurement of drugs. And we want a concrete statement stating why there has been shortage of drugs in hospitals, so that we can end these speculations. But what we have seen is statements without action. We needed to be shown the flagging off of medicine to hospitals, as it has always been done in the past. Well, all we were shown was medicine being offloaded from one truck, being taken on the shelves in medical store, and say that no, the issue of shortage of drugs has come to an end. I have checked through our operatives. I have checked through our party functionaries. In almost all the provinces, not even one institution has received the drugs as alluded to by the minister and the president. Countrymen and women, this issue of drugs is serious, and it must be sorted out like yesterday. We want to see trucks delivering medicine to the provincial hubs and also to the individual hospitals. Let us not pretend that all is well. We don't want this government to fail, because if you fail in the delivery of medicines, a lot of people are going to lose their lives. Therefore, we do not, I personally, and I think the PF, we do not wish this government to fail. We would want this government to succeed, and our role is to play checks and balances. I've been quiet on a number of national issues, but I think this issue of drugs is really getting out of hand, and it must be sorted out. And Comrade Chishimba, you know, when I said that there is an allegation that the money to procure drugs was diverted to support, free education, I did not affirmatively say that this is what has happened. I said, may we have a statement from government? And for you to say, no, the statement by Chishimba Kambwili is a figment of his own imagination, is being sarcastic, to say the least. And let me advise this government that, you see, sarcasm and arrogance will not save you. What we need to do is to provide the service. And by the way, I am extremely worried at the new Don government bringing in Thabo Kawana to speak on national issues. It appears this young man does not even understand what he talks about, and is messing up the government, because every time he sees that there is an issue somewhere, he goes to visit there. How can a spokesperson of a ministry? Thabo Kawana is not the chief government spokesperson, and is a spokesperson for the Ministry of Health. And I don't think it is his job to go and visit Zamra and Zamsa and see how the drugs are being procured and issue and coordinated statements. If you really know what people of Zambia are saying about statements coming from Thabo Kawana, you will live to regret. The young man has exhibited arrogance of the worst kind. He's been talking on issues that he doesn't understand. For instance, yesterday he was saying on Diamond TV that the president will now start visiting individual ministries to sit down with all the staff and look at what they are doing in the ministry. Since when did presidents do that all over the world? Presidents operate through the permanent secretary and also through the minister. Through cabinet, reports are given of what is happening at every ministry. I mean, the president has got so much to do. He cannot be wasting time to trot from one ministry to the other to go and sit with the ministry employees to discuss what they are doing in that ministry and the challenges. I think that is really sinking so low. So I would advise this government, please remove this man from government issues. It does not understand how government operates. That's why you can say, what are special duties at their special duties? Because it doesn't understand. And I don't know why the new Dawn government thinks that this man is doing them a favor. To the contrary, he's actually messing up the reputation of government. Remove Dabo Kawana. He's not supposed to be going around Zamsa, inspecting how drugs are being... No. That can only be done probably by the Minister of Information, if she wants to verify the information that she's supposed to give the people of Zambia, because she's a policy maker. That man is a civil servant. And those statements bordering on policy and the operation of government can only be done by the chief government spokesperson, not a civil servant in the ministry. So please, President H, take this young man to go and be a spokesperson of the Alliance or UPND. He's a politician and he doesn't understand the operation of government. To crown it all, let me say that please sort out the procurement of drugs. Give us an affirmative statement that will give hope to the Zambians that we are heading in the right direction. Otherwise, these uncoordinated statements are now worrisome. There is no way government can fund hospitals to buy drugs. Chushika Sanda, my dear sister, be factual. Chishimba Kambwili, signing off.